Get back.
Look, I know I don't really need to sell this idea to a lot of you. You probably just saw the thumbnail and were like, yeah, that guy's onto something. And he's also probably really smart and cool and deserves more respect from his father. But I know there's some that are thinking like, how would that work exactly? Who are you? What do you know? Have you ever wrestled an alligator? You know, what's your deal with your dad? Okay, first of all, this is like an interview, a post-match interview. I guess, I never talk about this. I was about 9 when my dad said that my younger brother was going to run the family business. So yeah, I left. I started this channel. We're doing just fine, as you can see. I'm loving life, and I feel like we've gotten off topic. You probably thought that I was going to come right out of the gate making fun of curling, breakdancing, squash, croquet. No. Maybe you need to go find the channel that doesn't appreciate world-class athletes in their peak physical condition. That was a bit sassier than I meant it to be. Okay, Did you know that hot air ballooning was in the Olympics in 1900? It's crazy. That's a fun fact. Aren't you glad you stayed? I think that comparing any two sports and saying, you know, which one is cool or better is kind of a moot point. It's pointless. I mean, take any sport with all of its history and culture and tradition and then waving your hand and be like, nope, lame. You know, it's ignominious and shameful. With that being said, some of these are just fucking stupid, right? Okay, here we go. Culprit number 1 here. 100 meter, 200 meter, track running, ring around the rosy, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot wrong here that I probably don't even need to point out. But, okay, where to start? Everybody's running in a fixed circle, an oval, if you will. There's no obstructions on the path. There's no attempt to blend in to said path. You know, if I were an alligator, this would be easy picking. This would be basically a sushi conveyor belt restaurant for me. It's like you're a duckling paddling around a fountain. Not smart. I will say somebody at Olympics LLC that's actually been out in the wild before made this version, which is frankly a huge improvement. Anybody and everybody that's been out running on a fresh body of water, lake, reservoir, what have you, will tell you, you better be ready to hurdle a pack of alligators that will inevitably show up and take some snaps at you. Okay, that's my biggest problem with a bunch of films nowadays. Sonic would have died to an alligator. Sasuke would have died to an alligator. Flash, at least they showed where the alligator almost got him. But again, they travel in prides. Another one is 100% showing up right after that, you know? And there's no jumping. No one's jumping. Where's the technique, Hollywood? There's a couple of y'all that thought, why didn't you put Dash's scene on there? That was intentional. He's the GOAT, and he would have been fine. He's awesome. Alright, now let's talk about this sport. Again, where do we even start? They're not even trying to run. They're actually in the water. Terrible strategy. The alligators don't even have to perform their signature pop-up move. The same guy that added hurdles to the track event also made a better version of swimming. They honestly need to give this guy a raise. So if you didn't know, alligators can be entranced, like snakes, with a group coordinated performance. It is not easy. Okay, I've seen bronze medal performances that honestly wouldn't have cut it in the wild, but most silver and gold medal groups, they'll be fine, probably. Diving, not a terrible idea. I see what they're going for. Yes, you could take out an average-sized alligator with a well-timed dive, striking just above the base of the tail, which I honestly don't know how many of them actually know that's their weakness, but regardless. And then, great, you got one. Now you've got a whole flock on your hands. And you're underwater, so you can't hurdle them. You don't have a group to perform with. Even if you did, do you have all your steps together? Do you have your choreography memorized? Because it better be a world-class performance in light of their unconscious herd member lying right there. Pretty awkward. Just an idea. Have 20 guys dive at once. So then at least theoretically you could take out a small pack if everybody hit their spots. You know, base of the tail. That's their weakness. Remember, write it down. Write it down. Also go ahead and put down cold as a weakness. They can't regulate their own body temperatures, which is why figure skating is such a great idea. You trap the gators in from the start. Checkmate. Anyways, I need someone to get at least this next part out to an Olympic committee because this is important and I'm now speaking directly to them. If you've watched the video up until this point and you're still on the fence, a little offended, but okay, alright, sit down in the boardroom, watch this next part, okay? This is what me and the boys get up to on a Sunday night after drinking a little too much moonshine in the choir loft, if you know what I mean. Then take a vote, yeah, if alligator wrestling should be in the Olympics, and get back with me. Alright, here we go. Freestyle alligator wrestling competition. Fuck for short, as in, why the fuck wouldn't you put this in the Olympics? I was a little sassier, then I want it again. I'm sorry, I'll tone that down. Can I just brag on the Fox Films production team right quick? Because they're kind of putting on a masterclass for free for us. First of all, love the Donkey Kong Country-esque music they've got going in the background. Then boom, stretch blur fade in with this off-brand Jurassic Park font, accented with a tasteful syncopated fade in and chalk duster font below it. Then fade out in a variation on the blur fade in what looks to be Open Sans or Arial. Fade out again, that's 3 fade outs already by the way. Then a wacky transition into Papyrus. Yeah, they had the balls to throw Papyrus in us as their 4th font. Then guess what? Just when they thought that they couldn't fade out again, they fade out again. Into another font, name me another company that has this deep of a font roster, by the way. This one looking to be straight out of the Metal Gear Solid, really showing that they're aware of the heavy crossover between gamers and alligator wrestlers. And just before we get started, they give us a little closer look at that logo, and of course, they put a 2 indicating it is in fact the second logo on the screen right now.
The technique was designed for one man to go out into the wild and capture an alligator, bring it back to his camp alive.
I like how they start off with the black and white narration. I am noticing a lot less fonts, which could have been a missed opportunity, I don't know. But knowing these guys, they've got something big in store for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Freestyle Alligator Wrestling Competitions.
I told you they know what they were doing.
There's 5 categories that make up our judging criteria.
Oh shoot, that's my cousin, Smitty Two Shoes. He's a 2-time state finalist.
Showmanship.
Yeah, these guys are good.
And the danger
Notice where he's sitting?
of
Base of the tail.
Difficulty of stunts.
You know, this would be a great time. Yes! I was about to say, to show the logo again.
There's 5 categories that make up our judging
let's see if I can
criteria.
remember. There's alligator aggressiveness, land wrangling, water wrangling, showmanship, and gator
and the danger
surfing.
and difficulty of stunts.
Oh, no, okay. Well, maybe they got rid of that one. I don't know.
The aggression of the alligator is judged because just like people, alligators have different personalities. So the more aggressive the alligator, the higher the score.
Also, like people, they need to be smacked on the nose a few times.
Land wrangling is a display of the alligator wrestler's ability to handle alligators safely and knowledgeably on land.
Whoa, okay. There's a couple of moves we gotta break down there. Hold on. First of all, teleporting, always a good move. Then we have a rare move here. We call it the gussle tussle. 2 things. 1, you gotta get airborne. 2, once you get airborne, make sure those feet land where? Base of the tail. You got it.
Water wrangling is similar to land wrangling.
Olympics.
Except this
You watching
time,
this?
You're going into the alligator's element. Kind of gives them a little bit more of an advantage. Next is showmanship.
Oh, that's Chip Grayson.
It's the alligator wrestler's
AKA
ability
Blind
to
Willie,
capture the
AKA Mr.
audience's
Silly
attention.
Gator. The guy's an artist.
Not least is the danger and difficulty of stunts.
Okay, we don't really go full dome anymore on account of there being 57 deaths last year, but if that would shift the committee, yeah, we could probably make it happen.
So stay tuned for our next event, and we hope to see everybody there.
How are they going to end this banger? Oh, right, well, another logo, of course. Oh, and into another logo, actually. Gosh, these guys are so far ahead. So there you have it. I told you I'd talk about alligator wrestling. If you're new to the channel, I don't usually talk about alligator wrestling. You probably figured that out. But I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like this year, 2025, we're getting a little more traction on the channel, so that's exciting. Hopefully that'll keep up. Like me, subscribe me, check out my other videos. Bye.